hello. I see some beautiful people out here. What's up? What's up? Hello, hello. I see my guest. I see my guest. Today my word is hello, hello. Hello, hello. What y'all sipping? Let me get my beautiful guest in here. Dun dun. Miss Sarah. All right. The gods of Instagram will work with us. Boom. Bam. As you can see, I'm very hyper. This is exciting for me always. There she
Hi.
is. I know. And you're like,
Hello, Jihan.
hello, it works.
Yes, it worked.
I'm loving your hair today. I just have it pulled back today.
Ah,
But
thank you.
I'm loving it. Welcome to Chai Time with Jihan.
Thank you. Can you hear
Everyone
me?
give
Can you
yes,
hear
I
me
can.
good? Okay, perfect,
Can you
perfect.
can you hear me? Do you want to back up a bit? Because I'm cutting off your
Yeah.
beautiful forehead.
Let me just like move my chair back.
Back it
Let's
up, back it up, back it up.
back it up.
Hello, beautiful people. I see you,
Hello.
Isabel, Adriana. Hello. There we go. Now I can see you clearly. There we go. Well, everyone give a warm, warm welcome to Sarah Eské to Chai Time with Jihan. Say what's up, fam.
Thank
I
you.
need one of those buttons like the pew pew pew. Boom, boom, pew, pew.
Some sound effects. I need like a keyboard with some effects, right?
Yes, I don't know if I know how to play it, but I need it. I always need things I don't like. I want things I don't need, I should say.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being on here. You are currently in Vancouver, right?
Yes, I'm from Vancouver, and
Yes.
yeah, born and raised in Van City. So
Yes, I love that. It's Vancouver is where I'm from, so I love Vancouver. And we have met through some events because we used
yeah,
to have little fashion events back in the day, and music and fashion always meet together. So you have performed at some of these events. So let's talk about this COVID season. It's a season, it's been 2 years as a musician, as a performer. How has that been for you?
well, it's obviously we can all agree it's been very different. Nothing we were prepared for, but I did my best to make the most of it, especially as a performer.
Yes.
Since I wasn't able to perform, I took that time to record new material, to write new material, just to kind of get myself out there, like by doing these podcasts, get my music online, social media, and working on my skills, learning new skills too, learning how to play the piano, just working on some other skills too. So I tried to make the most of it. Yeah.
Yes, I think we all just had to. I got so excited. I didn't even tell everybody what you do. She's a singer. She's a songwriter. I just got excited to have her on here. This is what happens when my guests come. I'm like, ooh, 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 I want to share.
And I got my tea.
Yes, so what are you drinking? What kind of tea are you drinking?
This is green. I'm drinking green tea right now.
Ooh, and I'm drinking a good old masala chai. So cheers, girl.
Cheers.
All
I
the way
love
from
your mug. I
Vancouver.
love that.
Every now and then I do like masala chai. It's so rich, but I'm like, I love it. I just love it.
I love chai tea too.
Right? So tell us, where did your love for music start? Like, were your parents into music, or did you just wake up one day and you're like, I can sing so amazing?
Well, it felt like it happened overnight, like the decision happened overnight. And this was during my first year of high school.
Okay.
I was approached by one of my classmates, and she asked me if I wanted to be in a pop group. And I was resistant. I said, no, I want nothing to do with it. So she finally convinced me after a couple of weeks. And I had my first rehearsal with the group, the three girls that were in the group. And then it was a surprise because I didn't even realize I had a voice until I was 13. Because they were all surprised. They were like, oh, you can harmonize well. Like, how long have you been singing? I'm like, I've never actually sang before. Like, just maybe in choir class in elementary school. But I always had a love. I've always had a love for music, a deep connection to music. And music also, especially that year, it helped me get through, especially, being a teenager, it helped me get through a lot of stuff, a lot of emotional, challenges. And so it just kind of happened organically. Like, I just decided this is what I want to do with my life, because that was the year I needed music the most to help me get through a lot of the stuff I was going through. So I made a commitment to give back in the same way music helped me. So that's how it all happened.
I love it. So wait, so when she approached you, she was just like, you're pretty. Do you want to be in the pop group?
It was like, I don't know, it was just very casual. We were kind of talking and, you know, everyone's kind of just trying to make friends the first year of high school. And she was the one person that was like, that I was comfortable with right away. And she was also like, she was a very outgoing person, but she just kind of she was just convinced that I would be perfect for the band.
I love that. We always need that one person in life, you know, that will push you or show you something new. So she was your person.
Yeah.
So once you're like, okay, I got a voice. How did you find your voice per se?
I just kept singing along to my favorite songs, singing along to my favorite artists. And that's how I was able to find my voice, because I didn't really know like, how does my voice actually sound like? Yeah, I can sing along, whatever, but how does my voice actually sound like? So I had to find it through just singing along with music, like, and then from there I started writing my own music, and I just started, you know, singing a cappella to my lyrics. Yeah, and then I started working with musicians from there, and then we started actually creating actual songs and recording rough demos, and that's how it all started. And that's when I realized, oh, okay, this is who I am as a singer. This is how what my sound is. Yeah. So it took some time, but you know, that's why you always have to kind of just get yourself out there and just do it.
So when you were younger, who did you fall in love with? Like when you say you were listening to this music, if you had to name a couple, like who showed you the way?
Oh, definitely Mariah Carey.
Right.
Okay, so 101%, like she was, especially that year, like a lot of her music was, I don't know if you remember this, but this was back in 99 when she came out with the Rainbow album, and that's when she actually was more open about, you know, a lot of like her, you know, different topics, right? Yeah. She was open in how she was expressing herself through music. So
you could be a woman now.
Yeah, exactly. And it was very empowering to see that. And, you know, you also add her voice to it, and it was like very empowering. I'm like, holy shit, like I wish I could, excuse my language, but I wish I could sing like this. This is pretty amazing. Like if I can somehow find my own voice just by, you know, like, you know, looking up to her and you know, just singing along and yeah. And then I found my own style and my own unique sound.
But it was a beautiful voice.
Oh,
so singer-songwriter. So not every singer is a songwriter, right? No. And not every songwriter is a singer. No. So is it bad or good to have both? Like, is it like, because some people are like, well, I just want to write songs, I don't want to sing it. Is that a bad thing?
There's nothing wrong either way. I mean, it depends what you're into. I mean, if you're a songwriter and you don't sing, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's lots of singers out there who need you. So it's like, it's like if you're a songwriter, that's a talent in itself. You don't have to be a singer too, right? You can work for record labels. You can work for, you know, artist development companies. There's so many career paths for just songwriters too.
Yeah, I always think of Neo when I think of songwriting, because he wrote for Beyonce and he wrote for like Mario and stuff. And I'm like, why didn't you sing those songs? Like, you should let me love you. I'm like, that song was dope, and he just wrapped it up and gave it because he wasn't ready. I was like, I don't get it, bro.
But it worked out though.
Yes.
It worked out. So yeah.
It did work out. Yeah. So, okay, so songwriting, tell us, like for the ones that don't know, like me, I journal, but how does it come to you? How does like writing a song, like for the people that don't know?
I don't have a formula. It's always different, to be honest. It really depends where I'm at in my life. Sometimes music will come up randomly. I mean, the last couple times, you know, I actually came up with songs during my dream, like while I was sleeping.
What? So you have like a notepad by you?
I actually had like my phone. So I just woke up in the middle of the night. I'm like, oh my God, this hook is amazing. Like, I better record this. But in my dream, it was like the whole song, the whole like deal. But I could only remember the hook by the time I got up. Wow. So yeah, so it's always different. And sometimes it's just, you know, just randomly just coming up with a melody, or maybe just motivated by a topic, or I need to get something out of my chest. So maybe it starts from there. So it's always different. And then sometimes you work with producers who already have a concept, and then you just kind of collaborate with them. So
yes. Okay. I love this song called Transformation.
Thank you.
Okay. The lyrics of that, honey, it like hit me. I was like, did you write that one?
Okay. So it's great that you're mentioning this one, because this one came from my dream. This one actually came from my dream. Yeah. So this, I know, it's crazy. And this was like 3.5 years ago. And when I wrote the song, I just released the song earlier this year. But when I came up with the song, it was actually, it started from from my dream. And in my dream, it was like a whole orchestra, backup singers, me on stage, like the whole deal. But by the time I woke up, it was like 3 a.m. That was the hook, and the was the only thing I could remember from it. And then, of course, it evolved from there. So, but because of, actually the song is about overcoming changes and embracing change and trusting that something better will come out of it. And that's the reason why I was motivated to release it this year, because of everything we've been going through. You know, everyone can relate to it, but this song originally was about what I was going through on a personal level.
See, I just listened to it because I stalk all my guests, of course, before I get them. But it really hit me because, like, I guess you wrote it at a time that was pre-COVID. But I think during this whole process, for a lot of us have transitioned and had changes that we'd had to like go through, the ups, the downs, and staying strong through those. So that song is beautiful.
That means so much to me. Thank you so much.
Yes. So once you write a song, what do you do? Like, how do you create the melody and things like that?
Well, because I've just started learning piano, like, believe it or not, I actually went through this whole like time writing music without learning an instrument. So just kind of coming up with like melodies in my head, right? But now that I'm learning, you know, just the basics, you know, it's more, I can get more creative. So it's just, you know, playing around with chords. And then, you know, just sing along and yeah, just getting creative in that way. So, and then sometimes I just come up with, you know, melodies in my head. Yeah. So
I love that. So you signed to a label right now?
No, I'm not. I'm an independent artist, but I am with Mercury Artists. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're based here in Vancouver. So they represent artists and also visual artists too, and other entertainers. Yeah.
And now it's great because you can be an independent artist, and it's easier because you can put your music out there. You know, the technology really helps with that. Now with fashion, it's super important to be like social media, be on there, show your true self. How important is it as a musician?
Well, nowadays, it's just as important. I mean, you're not just an artist anymore. You're basically a brand. You have to see yourself that way. You're an image, you're a sound, you're a product, you're a personality. So you kind of have to factor all those elements in order to, you know, put yourself out there.
Right. I always see like old documentaries like about Britney Spears and NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. Like those were the days, you know, that now they're showing us where they kind of changed who they were. And I love that we live in a world right now where we are all so ready for just being authentic. We want the authentic person. You crazy, show us you crazy. You a rock and roll like crazy person, show us. You a sweetheart and fall in love over and over again, Taylor Swift, show us. You know what I mean? And I think it's a beautiful thing that most artists, I should say, because I'm sure there's some that still have to be twisted and turned and they make them this person they want them to be. But my question is if somebody came up to you and was like, you can be amazing if you are this person, completely different from you, would you say yes?
I've already proven to myself that I would say no, because I've had a couple bigger people in the industry approach me and they wanted to completely like redo my whole image, and it wasn't me at all.
Okay.
Like they're like, we want you to be this, and you know, forget this type of look, like just forget it. And I'm like,
okay, but why do they do that? Like, why do they do that? I don't understand.
It's to be honest, I think it's just a program. Like, I feel like it's not going to make or break you. Like, we've already proven that, especially with social media, you can be whoever you want. You can be crazy, quirky, sexy. You can be anything you want as long as you're you. Yeah. You're actually, it's more authentic, and you're going to have true fans. Yes. By being yourself, and a more fulfilling career. And you could get even further by just being yourself. Yes. So it's just like a program. I think it's just like something that a lot of record labels kind of
sell.
Yeah. It's a very cookie cutter.
Yes, I say be yourself. You're killing it, and everybody should just be themselves. Because after some time, you're just gonna get tired of being someone else, and the bullshit is just gonna burn you out.
That's right. That's right.
It's just gonna burn you out. So, okay, so there's ups and downs being a musician. So,
Yes.
what keeps you going when it's like those days that you just want to, like, shut that book, stop writing, stop singing? Like, what keeps you going?
I think about why I started doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
And my reason is to inspire people, because it's not just about me at the end of the day. It's about sharing that, your gifts with others, right?
Mm.
And inspiring others and empowering others. So it's like, there's a reason why I'm doing this. So even if I feel like shit, today, well, keep going, because it's bigger than you. It's not just about you. So that's my whole attitude towards it.
Yeah. Okay, so do you have an elevator speech? Because everybody talks about like elevator speeches in LA. They're like, if you're a musician, you should have like, I always hear this from musicians, and I'm like, do you have one? Because they're like, you meet so many people in LA, you meet
Right.
stuff at parties, and they're always like, you should just have it in a bag. And I'm like, well, I'm glad I'm not a musician, because I can't describe myself in like a minute. Like, I'm crazy.
So people still do that? I didn't even
Yes,
think people still
yes.
do that. Okay, because I remember someone told me to do that years ago, and I just kind of forgot about it. And I'm like, I don't think people do that anymore.
I see it all the time at parties, and I totally roll eyes. I'm a people like watcher. I just love watching, and I'll just sit there, but like
That's
watching people bullshit sometimes, because it's really not them, and they're like explaining what genre they're in and their
yeah.
vibe, and I'm like, that's a lie. And then sometimes I'll listen to somebody else, and I'm like, oh yes, girl, you better, yes. Like, I'm a big cheerleader, but if I smell the bullshit, I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, it can't be like too scripted. It has to come, like, it has to be real.
yeah.
So I don't really think about that. It's like, I think I have one subconsciously, and it just kind of, I have one ready when someone approaches me, but I don't think I actually have a script.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I even thought about that. I had someone ask me about that, like that I should, or tell me that I should get one prepared, but that was like years ago. And I didn't even bother
Yeah.
an official script.
Right now it's like social media, like show me your social media, because people want to see the real you. People want to see like how you are on your lives, on
Right.
things. All this love you're getting in the comments. Hello,
Aw, thank you.
we see you. So
So,
during COVID, I think a lot of people decided a lot of different things. Some people changed jobs. Some people realized what they really love. So what's your advice for some people that are just getting into music, like just getting into it and are unsure of where to start? And as you said, there's different jobs in music, right? There's so many different jobs. So how do you figure out, like, is there school that you know about? Like, how do you figure out where you fit?
well, I think first you gotta ask yourself, like, what do you love? What makes you excited? What makes you passionate? What are you good at?
Yeah.
Start from there and just do it. Just do it. And then also, yeah, like you said, there are schools. There's tons of courses online. You don't even have to go to a physical school anymore. There's so many, I can't think of one on top of my head right now, but like there's so many courses you could take. But I think the number one thing, especially now, the most powerful thing you could do is collaborate with people. Collaborate, because you never know where that's going to take you, right? And the more you step out of your comfort zone, because you're always going to be stepping out of your comfort zone when you're collaborating with other people. So just get yourself out there as much as possible. And you'll find your niche at some point. Like, you don't have to know before you start. Don't get stuck. Just do it. And then eventually you'll find your niche, and you might surprise yourself. You might, discover that you're good at more than one thing. So
Yes, and there's so many options. Speaking of being outside comfort zone, you lived some of your life in Egypt. You were singing all over Egypt. So tell us how that opportunity even came about for somebody born and raised in Vancouver.
I don't know what it is about myself, but I just love stepping out of my comfort zone. I wasn't always this way, but there's a part of me that just always feels like I have to step out of my comfort zone in order to like grow and discover more about myself. And so this was like 2.5 years ago when I was looking for work. Actually, originally I was looking for work in Vegas, out of all places. and just, you know, to work at like, you know, different lounges, sing at like different venues, even like convention events and stuff like that. And then while I was searching for work in Vegas, this thing came up on my screen. It said that they were looking for a singer in Egypt. And so I didn't think much of it. I just kind of like applied, and it was through.
I'd be like, it's a scam.
Yeah, no, it was through this agency in Denmark.
Okay.
So it was like an actual agency. Yeah. And so I just put in my information. It took me like 2 seconds, didn't think about it, and then I actually got an email from them the following day. And long story short, they asked me if I could be there in like a week and a half, and I was literally there in a week and a half. And it wasn't until like on my way to Egypt, I had a connecting flight in Manchester in the UK, and I had like 6 hours to kill, and it hit me. And I'm like, what am I doing?
That's
like, I was there, like, planning, I was going to be there for like months. And I'm like, I have no idea what to expect. I'm just going to be singing like 6 nights a week in Egypt, out of all places. I had no idea I was going to be here 2 weeks ago.
So that is like a vlog I want to see. So how was it? Like, tell us a little bit about that experience, because the culture is so different. I really want to go to Egypt once in my life, more than once, but I want to go there for the first time, like ASAP. But how was that?
It was amazing. So I was working along the Red Sea, so like in the southern part of Egypt. So they have like tons of beautiful, like luxurious 5-star resorts there. So I was performing there. And of course, well, while I was performing there, a lot of the tourists were from like Europe, like people from Holland, Germany, Italy, the UK, and of course, people from Egypt too, because it was the summer holiday. So it was amazing just kind of like perform for like, you know, for people from that part of the world, because it's different than when you perform here. So it's nice to hear the feedback and like the compliments, and just like gain myself, again, this is like really stepping out of my comfort zone, because it's like I was a one-person show. Like I had to like entertain people for like 3 hours.
So where was the music coming from? Did they have a band ready for you?
Well, yeah, I had my mixtape. I had my mixtape, sorry, my show mixes. But that was the last 2 months I was there. I started my contract, or I started my journey there, doing a more like a production show with a bunch of dancers and singers during the first month. So that was a whole different thing. And that was pretty intense, because I had to learn a whole bunch of songs like last minute. I was like the last one, like basically everyone who was part of the show were there like for like 2 months. So they already knew the material, and I was like the new singer. It's like, okay, learn all these songs. We perform 3 times a week, 8 hours of rehearsals, 6 days a week, like 3 different shows, completely different shows a week. So I had to learn like 40 to 50 songs. Like,
girl, you jumped into the deep end. You were like,
I did.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to say this, and I always say this. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I remember old songs, but this new songs, I'm like, wait, what's the lyrics again? But you ask me like some old school shit, I will sing every lyric for you. But the new stuff, I'm like
that too, to be honest. I'm the same way.
This doesn't hit right. I don't know. Some of the new stuff, I'm like, what are we talking about? Sorry. What do you want to do?
So funny.
So how long were you in Egypt totally?
So I was there for like 4 months. So I was there for like the whole summer, and then the beginning of the fall. So first 2 weeks of fall, or 3 weeks. But I ended my trip, or my contract. Well, after my contract ended, I toured. I did the Nile cruise. I went to see the pyramids, the temples. So it was a very spiritual experience towards the end. So it was like intense, exciting, didn't know what to expect. And then the whole thing ended with like a magical spiritual experience.
That's amazing. What's your background? Did you get that you look Egyptian?
Yeah, so a lot of people, so a lot of the locals there thought, like, they would always ask me like, where are you from? And I'm like, I'm from Canada. I was like, no, you're not from Canada. Where are you from? It's like, how are you from Canada? Why do you look like the way you look if you're from Canada? So a lot of the locals there don't realize how multicultural we are here, right?
Yeah, that's what I love about Canada.
But to answer your question, my parents are actually originally from Morocco.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
So
got some roots there, yeah?
yeah. So
That's amazing. Okay, so you have an amazing show coming up, and I definitely don't want to forget about it. But tell us about the show that's coming up, because it's your first show back after COVID, right? Like this
that's
whole,
right.
because
The first,
Vancouver took its sweet time, and I'm glad they took their time because Vancouver's a safer space.
yeah.
And tell us about your show, girl.
All right. So I'm going to be performing live in person August 2nd at at 7 to 9. And this is going to be at the, the Water Cafe. There's a venue upstairs called Second Floor Gastown.
Oh, I've never been
So
there.
it's like a jazz venue. I've never been there in person, but they have live music there, like apparently like almost every night. So it's a great place to just kind of have a couple drinks, dinner, and enjoy some music. So that's August 2nd, Second Floor Gastown. I start at 7 to 9.
So if people want to get tickets from Vancouver, people that are watching now and watching later, how did they get them? Just follow you and it's on your Instagram?
Yes, yeah. So there's a link. So you have to you have to purchase your tickets on explorertalk.com dash water cafe. So you can go on my my Instagram, you can click on the link because I have it on there, and you can book your table. So once you purchase your tickets, you can also book your table too.
That's amazing. And send me the flyer too, so that if
Yes.
I'll have it ready to go. I went to one of my first like live music moments yesterday. And it was at the Hollywood Bowl. I've never been to the Hollywood Bowl. So I popped my Hollywood Bowl cherry, and it was Ladisi doing, Ladisi is her name. Yes, Isabel, correct me if I'm wrong. Isabel's here. Okay, I said it right. Okay, her doing Nina Simone.
Oh, yes. I love Ladisi. I listen to her music a lot.
Oh my God. So beautiful, so soulful. There were times I was like just tearing up because it was just such a beautiful moment. The sound in that space is amazing. One of our friends, Emily's dad, gave us the tickets. And I was like, okay, I'm like, Isabel, want to go out? And she's like, let's do this. But it is the cutest little venue. And I just miss live music.
Oh,
Like,
I know.
I'm not a musician, but my mom always says, oh my God, your dad loved music, and you and my brother and my sister's a musician. My brother's good with music as well. But me, I'm just like, ooh, I think I'm a dancer.
Well, you are a musician then. If you love music, like we talked about before, you could be into dancing,
Yes, exactly. Dancing, think I can
Yeah.
dance. So who do you think is doing it right now in the industry? Like, what artists do you see out there? They're like, hi, he's doing it right, or he's doing it right, or groups?
I think, see, I'm not like crazy about her music, but I think she's an amazing role model, especially in these times, is Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Just because she's so involved in, different issues, and she's empowering a lot of people right now. And, she's not shy about, talking about some of the stuff she struggled with and that she's even still currently struggling with. And just that authenticity is what people want, right? And it helps. It's a way to connect with people and her fans, and I think it's great to have people like that in the industry. So I think she's doing it right.
Yeah, doing great. And I love that she has no box. Like, there's no like she's done so many different genres and so many different styles. Is that like, I mean, she did it just right, but as a musician that's up and coming and that's not at Lady Gaga's level, is that a right thing to do, be versatile, or should you stick to one thing?
That's the thing. You know why? That's the golden question. But to be honest, in my heart, I feel like you should just be yourself, because you're not just one person. You're a multi-dimensional person. You should be able to express all those parts of you. Otherwise, you're going to become resentful, or you're going to express those other parts of you in a negative way if they're not expressed. So I'm a true believer in that. I think it's good for everyone's mental health to be able to be diverse. Especially as an artist, I don't want to just have one sound. I've had many people say you should stick to one sound. It's just kind of like, you don't want different sounds and different styles. You should sing the same. And no. There's so many different parts of me. So I'm going to express all parts of me. So that's my outlook on it.
Yeah. And you spoke about mental health because that was going to be my next question, because I'm very grateful that now in the fashion community and a lot of other communities, mental health is becoming a conversation. It's not something to hide about. It's something to be open about. And the more open you are, the more help you can get. So as a musician, which is a total different, world, how important is staying connected with yourself, and how do you do that for yourself?
Oh, it's super important. I mean, I've been, it's like my priority is to stay connected with myself, just to make sure that like I get exercise, I'm connecting with positive people, I'm doing what I love, I'm eating healthy, I'm sleeping good. All those things are important and they do affect your mental health. So that's how I make sure that my lifestyle keeps my mental health on top shape. So
Yeah, definitely. Because I always say, if you can't take care of this one, you can't
yeah,
take care of people.
no.
So even with your music, I can only imagine if you're not in a right place, your songs are not going to inspire and change lives the way you want it to. They're probably just going to be a little bit of hate music that's just not going to be coming from a place of love. And right now, all this world needs is love.
Oh
Lots.
yeah. Love all the way. We have to, that's like a priority, is to support people and to give love, and to be able to receive love is just as important too, right? So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Be open to receiving love, because a lot of
Oh,
people.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So with fashion, I'm always comparing, because it's beautiful to talk to a musician and see the other side. But when you want to collaborate with somebody, what's your advice on the easiest way? Like if somebody wants to collaborate with you right now, what's the easiest or the right way to do it per se? Because sometimes people be like, "Hey girl, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's
Oh,
up?"
oh yeah, I know. I know that.
Never.
I know that. I'm very familiar with that, but it's easy for me to spot those people, and I just don't really waste my time. But yeah, so number one, if someone has an idea and they're like, "Oh, I want to collaborate with you." Okay, great. Give me details. What's your plan? Like, okay, so what's the concept for the for the project, and what's the plan after that? Like, see, that's the first question you should ask, because if they're like they don't have an answer for that, it's like they just want, or they like the idea of collaborating, and they just like to talk, and I'm not a talker.
Your cute self.
I'm a doer. I'm not a talker. So it's like it's great to talk about it once, but there's got to be more action than talking.
Right. And some of the people in LA love to talk. Love to talk. Okay, I'm gonna put you in the hot spot.
Oh,
But
okay.
what's your favorite song that you have sang or written, and why?
Oh,
Gotta pick
out of
one.
my songs, or okay. Um, to be honest, it's been the same one for years now, and it's called "Finally Free."
Finally.
Because ultimately, that's what we all want, is to be free.
I love that. Okay,
So,
and I have to listen to that one. I'm like, I probably did listen to it, but Transformation like took the cake.
and for that song, I have three different versions of it.
Okay.
So I have the original, which is like a ballad, and I have some violin in there. It's like very like dramatic. And then I have the deep house remix, which is just like a deep house, like,
Yeah.
remix. And then I have the original. I don't even think that's online right now, but it was just more of like a R&B kind of like pop. It was a demo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm loving Deep House lately. Like when I'm at work and stuff, it just like plays in the background, and I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna beat that in my head. Like, what's up? Okay, there were genres. If you had to pick like one decade of music that you love as a musician, what would it be?
oh, the 90s. I'm a 90s girl.
Yeah. I went to an audition the other day, and they're like, if you had to throw a party in a decade, what would it be? And I'm like, the 20s, the roaring 20s.
Oh, the Warrens.
I,
Yeah.
I want those dresses. I want,
Oh,
the little long cigarettes hanging out
I
around.
love it. I love it. The sequins,
Oh,
like
it was shiny, it was glamorous. Musically, 90s, like
oh
that's a party. But
yes.
just with the glam of like Great Gatsby, it would be
Oh, I know.
like the roaring 20s for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Look at all this stuff. Yes, Isabel's in here. I'm like, hey, everyone, we see you. Thank you all for being here. I'm like, shout out to your fans. What else? What else? Let's play some try time speed round, girl.
Okay.
Ooh, I have this
I don't
question.
know what to expect.
Wait, what is something that nobody knows about you that you would like to share right now?
Ooh, that's a deep question, Sheila.
Ooh, I was like, wait, this is a good question. I got my notes. I'm like, I can't miss this one.
Oh, it's like I know this answer and I think about it a lot, but I can't think about it right now.
Right?
Like, I wish people knew this about me.
That no one's asked you, but that you're probably like, wow, this is something really cool about me that nobody knows yet.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, you can think about it. I'll start my little timer.
Okay.
I was like, think about it, because it's always funny because everybody asks us so many different questions, but there's always something in the mix that gets like, left out almost.
Oh, wait. I think I know one.
Okay.
If I wasn't a singer, I'd be a detective.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did not expect that. Why?
I have this thing about mysteries. Like, I love the idea of solving a mystery.
Okay, that makes sense because you're waking up writing songs from your dreams. So like, I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, why I was grinding my teeth. You're like, a whole song. Wow. Okay, so do you like watching these mystery like movies and everything? Or
I do. I like movies that are about like solving mysteries and stuff like that. Yeah.
okay.
I don't know what it is, but it's like I'm so interested in that stuff. Like any type of mystery, like the unknown.
I love it.
It's more like if I wasn't a creative person, because I think if I wasn't pursuing music, I would definitely be pursuing interior design or fashion design, which I went to school for. But if I wasn't like even pursuing anything creative, I think that would be more like my analytical side.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're that person that we need on our team when you go to one of those escape rooms.
I haven't actually been to that before. I want to.
Next time we're gonna get Sugar Boy and everybody together.
Yeah, let's do it.
Create a crew and go, because those things give me anxiety. I'm like, who's helping us? Because child, I'm the person that will know the answer, but you ask me not. Or I'll sing a song and somebody's like, who sings that? And I'm like, and they're like, well, keep singing it. And I'm like, but now I forgot all the lyrics. Like everything happens together. One of my girlfriends was like, do you want to come on that show? Like, the Jamie Foxx show that they complete the lyrics.
Oh, right.
No. I'm the worst. Like I'm like, this is what the song is actually about. Because when I sing, it's completely different. All right, girl, let's play Chai Time Speed Round for the ones that don't know what this is. This is 20 questions that I make up for each one of my guests, and they got to go through it. It's a this or that question or a favorite thing. Let's see if she can get through 20 questions. You ready? You want to take a sip of your tea?
Sure, I'll have a sip of my tea.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for all the love. We see you and we feel you in this room. So thank you. Thank you. All right, here we go. 2 minutes. Your go-to cocktail.
Wine doesn't count?
Sure. Okay.
Wine.
Okay. Spotify or Apple Music?
Apple.
A venue you want to perform.
Madison Square Garden.
Okay. Favorite TV show right now?
Ooh, I don't really watch much TV.
Movie? Favorite movie?
I'm so bad at remembering movies. Like the names.
Good. Curly fries or waffle fries?
Curly fries. Curly fries.
Your biggest fear when it comes to the music world?
Being judged.
Favorite thing about Vancouver?
Nature, mountains.
Go-to junk food?
Hamburger.
Yum. Your celebrity crush?
Oh my God. Is it okay if he's passed away?
Sure.
Tupac.
Yes. One thing you will not eat?
Not a picky eater at all.
Crocodile?
Oh, I won't eat insects.
Okay. Cupcakes or cookies?
Cookies.
If you could go on vacation right now, where would you go?
Ivory Coast.
Ooh, an artist you would like to do a duet with?
Mariah.
A music trend you hate right now?
A what, sorry?
A music trend you hate?
well, it's not really a trend anymore, but auto-tune was, yeah.
Go with the flow or planning it?
Go with the flow.
Bungee jumping or skydiving?
Ooh, I'm considering skydiving.
Ooh. Well, thank you for playing Chai Time speed
That
round.
was so bad.
You did get through 20, but y'all played. So thank you for playing.
How many did I get through?
You got through 17.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
So that was pretty good. Trust me, some people go, So we have people watching us from all around the world. I'm in LA right now. You're in Vancouver. There's Australia on here. There's India on here. So everyone's going through ups and downs right now. You know, some people are going into another lockdown. The Delta variant, that's a whole other thing. People are deciding vaccine, no vaccine. There's just so many things still going on with COVID and without it. So what's your advice for everybody just transitioning through all of this?
My advice is to let go of control, because right now we can't control a lot of things. The only thing you can control is yourself, your well-being. So focus on, you know, your day-to-day just lifestyle and taking care of yourself, taking care of the people around you, the people that you love, and, you know, be clear on what you want out of life and work towards that. And don't focus so much on all the chaos that's happening right now, because the great thing about what's going on is that sometimes in order for things to change, things do need to collapse. Systems need to collapse. So just have that perspective, and yeah, and just take care of yourself and take care of others.
Yes, I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sarah, for being on Chai Time with Jihan. Okay, so besides Instagram, how can everybody get in connected with you? How can they listen to your music? Tell us.
All right, so yeah, so Instagram, Sarah Eské Music, but you can follow me on Twitter, Sarah Eské. You can also follow me on Apple. You can follow me on anywhere. You can just search my name, Sarah Eské. I got Spotify. I got YouTube. So yeah, thank you so much.
And want to collaborate with her? Do it the right way, okay? Have a plan.
Have a plan, please.
And I always leave people with like last minute words, like kind of thing for the week, like task of the week. And this week, with everything that we've been talking about today in this conversation, I'm going to say, create a little plan. There's always that person you want to reach out to, whether you want to collaborate with them, whether you want to work with them. If you're a photographer, you want to photograph them. If you're a model, you want to be in their thing. If you're a musician, you want to collaborate on music, whatever it is, create a plan to reach out. Because life is too short. And if we just keep waiting for that right time, there's never going to be that right time. So let's all this week go past that little fear, figure out one person that we want to collaborate with in some way, you know, musically, whatever, fashion, whatever it is. Even if you're not, if you're in the tech world, whatever you do, let's reach out to somebody and work on something, because when two creatives come together, it's just next level and you're just going to learn something more. We all need to learn. You got to keep learning, because the day you decide, I know everything, you don't.
Good girl.
So thank you for being on Chai Time with Jihan. Thank you to everybody for being on here. If you're watching this later, we still love you. Thank you. What's the date of your show again?
So it's on August 2nd. This is during the long weekend, yeah. So August 2nd, 7 to 9 o'clock.
I won't be in Vancouver, but I'll be there in spirit. But if you're in Vancouver, check your girl out. It's going to be a great night. Trust me, live music is the best way to go. Mwah, mwah. Sending love, y'all. Chai for now, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Well,